Okay, let's just get right into it because this is something that every single creative person needs to hear. We're going to talk about why spending a few $1,000s on a lawyer right at the beginning isn't an expense at all. It's actually one of the smartest, most powerful financial moves you can possibly make. I know, it sounds backwards, but stick with me. I'm going to show you why it's the best money you'll ever spend on your career. And boom, right off the bat, here are the numbers. They really tell the whole story, don't they? On one side, you've got what seems like a big check to write for legal fees. But on the other side, that's the potential loss from just one bad contract. And believe me, that number is not an exaggeration. The difference is just staggering, and that huge gap is exactly what we're going to break down.
So, let's picture it. You've worked for years for this moment. A contract is on the table. It feels like you finally made it, right? But what you might not realize is that this is also the single biggest financial risk you've ever faced. This is the moment where that $500,000 mistake is just waiting to happen. And this quote, man, it just hits the nail on the head. Your incredible talent, your music, your art, that's what gets you noticed. That's what opens the door. But it's that stack of paper they put in front of you. That's what decides who actually gets paid from your talent for the next 5, 10, maybe even 50 years.
Right, so building on that, let's get into why these documents have so much power. The real danger is hiding in plain sight, in what everyone calls a standard agreement. Here's a secret. A standard agreement is just a contract written 100% in favor of the people who wrote it, and that is not you. And here's what that actually means. We're not talking about small stuff. A single sentence buried on page 23 can literally chop your income in half. It can lock you into a deal for years, even if it's terrible. It can mean you sign away the rights to your own work forever. These are like invisible chains that can hold your entire career back.
Okay, here's a classic example of one of those hidden traps. It's a fancy term called cross-collateralization. Sounds complicated, right? But it's actually brutally simple. It means your massive hit song could earn millions of dollars, but you might not see a single penny. Why? Because the company uses all that money to pay for the album that didn't sell so well. It's a way for you to be a huge success and still be completely broke.
So, why on earth do artists sign these things? Well, it's totally human. You're just buzzing with excitement. You're terrified that if you push back, they'll walk away. And you just want that validation, that feeling of, yes, someone believes in me. These are really powerful emotions, and unfortunately, in a negotiation, they can be used against you. And that brings us to the solution. This is where you bring in your secret weapon. See, the attorney isn't just a bill you have to pay. They are your strategic partner. Their entire job is to be the calm, cool expert in the room who is focused on one thing and one thing only, protecting you and your future. So what do they actually do? Well, they're not just reading the thing. They are actively changing the outcome for you. They go on a hunt for all those hidden traps we just talked about. They rewrite any vague language that could come back to bite you later. They fight for key protections. And maybe most importantly, they help you structure your ownership from day one. They are building a fortress around your career. And this right here, this might be the most important thing they do. A good lawyer takes all that excitement and anxiety and fear that you're feeling, and they turn it into a cold, hard, effective strategy. They absorb the pressure so that you can stay focused on your art, knowing your business is being handled. Okay, let's talk about the cold, hard cash. It's one thing to talk about confusing contract terms, but it's another thing to see exactly how these little clauses can quietly drain your bank account year after year after year. Let's just take one simple but incredibly powerful example. Imagine your lawyer negotiates just a 5% better royalty rate for you. 5%. It doesn't really sound like a life-changing amount of money, does it? Well, let's see what that actually looks like. On a music catalog that generates $2 million in revenue, that tiny 5% difference is $100,000. That is $100,000 that should have been in your pocket, not someone else's. An attorney who gets you even a few extra points has paid for themselves many, many, many times over. Now, let's talk about the big one, your master recordings. When you sign those away, you are not just giving up a file on a computer. You are handing over what could be the single most valuable financial asset you will ever create. Think of it like this. It's your 401k. It's your retirement fund. It's your legacy. And this table just breaks it down perfectly. This is another huge battleground, recoupment. That's the money the company spends on you that you have to pay back. Without a lawyer, they'll try to make you pay back 100% of everything. But a good lawyer comes in and negotiates limits or caps. And look at the result. It's the difference between maybe never getting paid and actually seeing your money much, much sooner.
Okay, so you're probably convinced by now. But where do you even start? How do you find the right person? This next part is all about the practical, actionable steps you can take to get the right partner in your corner.
First up, when do you make the call? It's simple. These are your red flags. If a deal involves ownership of anything, if percentages are being thrown around, or if there are long-term options, that's your signal. And honestly, anytime you feel pressured to sign something quickly or you just don't understand what it means, that's the moment. Don't wait.
And remember, not all lawyers are the same. You're looking for a specific kind of partner. You want someone who can explain all this complicated legal stuff in plain English. Someone who always shows you the money, the real financial impact of every term. You need a fighter, someone who has done these kinds of deals before, and someone who is upfront and transparent about their fees.
So let's circle back to that number from the very beginning, $5,000. Yeah, it can feel like a lot up front, but that fee usually covers the entire process. Reading every word, marking up the contract with changes, getting on all the negotiation calls, and drafting the counteroffers. It's a one-time cost for a comprehensive defense.
So after seeing all of this, the lost royalties, the traps with your masters, the recoupment games, I want you to ask yourself this question again. What's the real cost here? Is it really that $5,000 fee?
And the answer is right here. This says it all. Hiring an attorney isn't the expensive move. The truly catastrophically expensive decision is trying to do it all by yourself. Because the price of a bad contract isn't paid in thousands of dollars. It's paid in hundreds of thousands, and in losing control over the art that you poured your soul into. And that is something you just can't put a price on.